Some of the things I bought during the last few years were just beyond stupid. Such unnecessary things. If you're new here, my name is Leah and I'm uploading videos twice a week about minimalism and sustainable living. So if you're interested in these topics and want to see future videos, please subscribe to my channel. And now let's get started. I am a person that tries to consume very consciously, so I don't usually buy things just out of a impulse. I try to really think about things before I buy them, and I try to have like certain guidelines and values when it comes to buying new things. So when I do buy new things, or in general bring new things into my home, I try to make sure that they are either ethically produced and sustainably produced or secondhand. And also I try to make sure they are good quality and they are pieces that I really need and that I'm really going to use a lot. But during the last few years there have been a few things that I bought that were just very unnecessary, super stupid, did not align with my values, and today I want to share these with you. So the first thing I have on my list is a jacket. And that was a few years ago when I really started making sure that all the things I buy are like ethically and sustainably sourced. And it was a soft shell jacket for around 15 euros. So I bought this jacket, went home, and the regrets started like an hour later. Because it is a soft shell jacket with like polyester furry lining on the inside, so it would shed a lot of microplastics. It was cheap, it was not good quality, it was for sure not produced under like any good circumstances, and just a product that I would not want to have in my belongings, a product that I do not want to spend money for and that I don't want to buy because I don't want them to produce any products like that. So that was a very, very stupid purchase. And I ended up using that jacket for around, I think, 1 to 2 years before I got rid of it because it just didn't serve me anymore, because nowadays I just have one jacket, and so I don't need that other jacket that isn't even particularly warm or stylish or anything like that. The second thing I have on my list is actually something that I have wanted to buy for a long time, and then I finally bought them when I was in Sweden. And it's these like grocery foods, maybe most of the time fruit or vegetable nets. And I mean, I use these and they're doing a good job. But the thing that I really, really regret about buying them is, one, they are made of plastic, and second, I could have made them myself. So I do use these, but I regret it because it's just unnecessary resources used for these things, because it is plastic and because I think there are so many like fabrics out there that you could make bags like that out of. So I use them and I will use them for years now, but that was just a little stupid as well. The third thing I have on my list is our current couch. It is a fake leather couch, and we really wanted to have a fake leather or leather couch because we have friends that are allergic to dust, so a like normal fabric couch would not be a good fit. Because we also really wanted to have a couch that converts into a bed, and that were our like measurements or our like things we looked for when searching for that couch. We really also wanted to buy this couch secondhand, which we did. We were looking for a few months actually, because I don't know, we just had a very like maybe specific picture in mind, and then we found it and we paid 100 euros for the secondhand couch. We picked it up. We realized that they were smoking, I think, in that apartment, so that was the first thing that is not so good, because I don't want the couch that smells like smoke in my living room. And then a few weeks later we realized that this couch was already falling apart. And I don't know if you know that, but if you have like fake leather, it starts peeling off after a certain time. And what I think happened there was that they used this couch, then they put it in their extra room and didn't touch it for years. And then we picked it up and the fake leather surface looked really good, but as soon as we started using it again, it like got completely destroyed. And now we covered it with blankets, and we realized that like the sleeping function isn't really good as well, because you can't just have like a rectangle thing to sleep on. It has a weird shape, so it's like this, and then it has, yeah, it's not a good bed, and you can't even put a sheet on top of it properly. So not the ideal couch, and really not what we were looking for. And now, since it is fake leather, it is plastic, and these little plastic pieces fall off the couch all the time, and I don't really know what to do. We are keeping it for now, but I am certainly like looking for a new couch, and I do want to buy it secondhand again, because I think there are so many secondhand couches out there, and there must be the ideal couch for us. And I think I would want to buy a leather couch again. And there it is even more important to me that it is secondhand, because I don't really feel comfortable with buying a new leather couch. But I think leather is just so much better in keeping its shape and keeping its quality over years than the fake leather couches are. And since like the fabric doesn't really work for us, it has to be a leather couch, and that is what I'm looking for in the future. But this purchase, I mean, it was made with good intentions. We looked for it for a really long time, but it just doesn't end up working like we wish it was. And so I think we have to like get a new one in the next year or so. So the next thing is my old smartphone. When I was a teenager, I used to have a very old Nokia phone, not a smartphone, because they were just like being released or being popular back then, and so I wanted to buy a smartphone to be able to communicate via internet. And so I walked into a store and bought a smartphone, and it was fine and it worked well. And then after like 1 year, I changed my mobile provider, like the mobile service provider, and I put in the new SIM card into my phone, and what I realized is that it was locked, which means that you can use that phone only with the SIM card that was in there when you bought it, or another SIM card from that provider. So I had my new SIM card, but I couldn't use it in my phone. And then I had to buy a new phone, because of course I had like a contract which made sure that I would pay for like at least 1 year, so it didn't really make sense to buy another contract. Plus I wasn't really happy with my current phone back then, so I bought a new phone. And I just bought a new phone because I was too stupid to realize that my old phone was locked for any other providers. And that's just such a waste of resources. I ended up keeping my old phone for like an extra phone if mine would break or something like that. And what happened to it? The battery was like getting thicker and then spilled, so I had to trash it. Just very unnecessary, very stupid, and so wasteful. I really regret that that happened. And then the fifth and last thing is a sweater I got last year from a place where I worked. And I really thought about it because I didn't have to have one. It was like voluntary. I could decide if I wanted to have one. And that was the first thing I kind of regret, because it's just a normal sweater, so it's fast fashion, it's not produced ethically or anything like that. And then we ordered this sweater and I just guessed my size because I couldn't try one on. And then they came, I put it on, it fit okay. But then I looked at the tag and it was like 60% polyester. And maybe that's not a big deal for other people, but I really made a huge effort to cut all the plastic fibers, all like polyester, synthetic fibers out of my wardrobe. So thinking about adding a piece to my wardrobe that was newly produced, fast fashion, and more than 50% made out of polyester is just so much against all my values and everything I try to do with my wardrobe. I kept wearing that sweater, and I mean it had the like organization's logo on top of it, so it's even harder to give it to somebody else because people like don't understand what it says on there, or like just don't have a connection to it. And I kept wearing it for about a year or even a little bit longer, but now I just got rid of it because I don't like to wear it. It reminds me of that stupid mistake, and I hope I've learned from it, and I hope this never happens again. Yeah, some of these things were like really stupid. Some of these purchases were made with good intentions but turned out to be really bad, and I regret all of them, and I hope none of these things happens ever again, but I mean, who knows? So I just try to learn from it and try to make sure that I pay even more attention when buying new things, that I pay a lot of attention when it comes to quality, that I really think about it if it could like work another way that would be more sustainable or like better for me and my life. And that's just what I'm going to do. Of course, there are a lot of other things I buy that don't end up being exactly what I wanted them to be. And if you want, I could make a video about things like that. But these were just the things that were like so far from what I expected, or so far from all of my values, that were just very stupid and I regret a lot. Let me know if you have bought things that you have regret later, or how you handle situations like this. I've heard that some people like keep these items just to make sure that they get a lot of use out of them, but I believe that it is also okay to let items like that go. But what I also think is that it's not okay to maybe like instantly get rid of these things again, because I mean, my idea is to learn out of these mistakes so I can make a better decision in the future. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!